Hi, this is Brock with Straight Line Delivery, and this is step 4 in a 10-part series on getting into trucking. So if you've seen the first 2 videos and you just watched the third video, we talked about the difference between starting your own trucking company and leasing onto somebody. So in this video, we'll talk about starting your own company. If you want to start your own company, some of the things you can expect. This is if you don't want to lease on to somebody else, you want to have your own company to drive under. I spoke in the last video about this, and I'll reiterate it. Plan on spending a lot of time on the phone, on hold, with people who don't know what you're wanting to do or how to direct you. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of time on the phone. It is not easy to start your own trucking company. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's not the most expensive thing in the world, but you do jump through a lot of hoops. There's a lot of bureaucratic stuff to go through. And I spent out countless hours. Oh gosh. I spent countless hours on the phone getting my trucking company started. Okay. So let's say we've done that. You've got your paperwork filed. You've done all that. All right. And you're one truck and one driver. So who will your scheduler be? Who will find the loads for you? Is that you? Is that a maybe unwilling wife who doesn't really want to do it but feels like she has to? It doesn't really matter if you don't have any experience in trucking. Even if you've been driving a truck, that's a different experience than booking loads, because when does it pick up? When does it drop off? Where will I be? Where will I get another load? When do I have to take a break? When do I need to, do a safety check? The DOT's calling. They want to do a 5-day audit with me. So what will your schedule be? When will you work? Okay. Are you working Monday through Friday? Are you working a few weeks at a time? If so, what day will you do your billing? Who will do your billing? So you've got to sit down. Let's say you did 10 loads this week. Okay, that's great. Who's going to put all these invoices together? Because to bill, you need a signed piece of paper saying that yes, they dropped off the freight from the receiver. You need a rate confirmation from the shipper saying that yes, we agreed for you to haul this freight from point A to point B, and here's how much we're paying. And then you need to generate on your own an invoice which surmises all this, saying, okay, we hauled a freight from point A to point B for this much, and here's how much you owe. And then what are the pay terms? 30 days? 45? 90? I don't know. So when are you going to have time to sit down and do all that? How are you going to get all these bills out? And then are they going to mail you paper checks, or are they going to put it into a direct deposit account? Those are all things you have to decide. When a customer doesn't pay, what are you going to do about it? What day do you follow up? When? When you're loading, when you're driving, when you're at lunch? When are you going to follow up with all these customers who, man, they should have paid like weeks ago? Where's that money? I'm missing that check. Who's going to respond to your phone calls that you get into the office? Not just people you've hauled freight for, but people who want to know, hey, where's your truck going to be Thursday? I got an awesome load that's right up your alley. You going to be in my area? Oh, I don't know. Who's going to respond to the emails and say, hey, is the truck loaded yet? Well, if you're loading and maybe your phone doesn't work in this big building, or you're busy strapping stuff down, who's going to respond to the email that says, hey, this load is canceled 30 minutes before you get there? Are you going to see that? Or are you going to drive all the way there? Who's going to answer those phone calls that are time sensitive? Like, oh, hey, we need to throw extra freight on the truck. How much are you going to charge us? Oh, hey, we know we said they'd be there till 3 o'clock, but I guess the shipper, I guess their forklift driver went home at 1:30. Now what do? Who's going to handle all that stuff? There are so many things that go on behind the scenes that drivers never know about, because they've got good freight coordinators picking up the ball and fixing it and making it happen. So if you're going to do all this yourself, you need to really be realistic about, can you handle driving down the road in traffic with your GPS yelling at you and a broker calling you, changing times, or asking if they can add 5,000 pounds of weight and another 15 feet of skids, and a person from 3 days ago calling you asking you for proof of delivery, or else they're going to dock you $100. All this stuff coming at you. Can you drive the truck, pay bills, answer the broker for today, answer the broker from 3 days ago, answer the person who wants to use you next Thursday? Can you keep all this straight in your head without pulling your hair out and going berserk? So be honest with yourself about that. Some people can do that and some people can't. Another thing to remember, a lot of the things that you have to do to start a trucking company require that you have a truck and a trailer in hand, which means you have this truck and trailer. You have to make all these phone calls, fill out all this paperwork, do all this stuff while the truck and trailer are sitting there not making a dime, but costing you money. There are some things you can't do until you prove you've got insurance. So you've got a truck, a trailer, you've got commercial insurance, and it's just sitting there, just ticking away, as you can't drive that truck because you're not legal, because there's some paperwork missing to legally start your business and get you on the road. So can you afford the downtime between starting your trucking company, buying your equipment, getting it insured, and then actually getting on the road and making money? And probably not the best money in the world, because remember, you're new and these people have worked really hard to get clients, so they don't want a brand new trucking company handling their best client. They don't know if they can trust you. They'd much rather call somebody like me, who's already done 400 loads for them over the past 10 years, and just give it to me, even if I'm going to charge them more. So that's something to think about there. Best advice, like I said in the last video, already have 5 years of experience in owning a trucking company if you're going to start a trucking company. So already have done it for 5 years. Get a time machine is what I'm saying. It's tough. It can be done, but you got to be realistic about your expectations. If you need to buy a truck and trailer, get it insured and get it on the road all within a month or you're going to go broke, do not start your own trucking company. It's above your head at this point. Now, I've had guys work for me that worked for me for a year, saved up a bunch of money, started their own company, and slowly went out and lost money for the first few months, but then got it going and it snowballed, and now they're doing pretty good and they work the schedule they want to work and it's their own thing. But that's the exception, not the rule. Most guys that start their own trucking company fail because of the things that I just went over. It's really tough and it's really time consuming. You make a lot less than you think, and it takes a lot longer to get going and a lot more dead time between loads than if you've got an experienced freight coordinator working for you. Hope you guys found this helpful. Hit that subscribe button. Also like this video, it helps my algorithm. But when you subscribe, you'll see the rest of this 10-part series, and you'll have access to all the videos that I've put on YouTube over the years that I think will help you out no matter what you decide to do.